A very good evening once again. Thank you for joining us for the UBC News Tonight, the 10 o'clock edition. My name is Wadulo Mark Arnold, and without further ado, let's take a look at the headlines tonight. In our top stories tonight, the 2022 UNEB A-level results released. Excitement across the country as over 70% of the 2022 A-level students excel. And Minister Chitutu apologizes for mishandling of iron sheets meant for Karamoja. And Parliament donates broadcasting equipment to UBC Radio. Thank you for joining us. We now give you the news in detail. To start off, the President of the Republic of Togo, His Excellency Faure Esozimna Nasingbe, has arrived in Uganda on an official visit. At Entebbe International Airport, His Excellency Nasingbe was welcomed by the Minister for Security, General Jim Muhwezi. Others who welcomed him were the Chief of Defense Forces, General Wilson Basumbadi, and the Assistant Inspector General of Police, Christopher Damolira, and Deputy Commissioner General of Prisons, Samuel Akena. The President then proceeded to State House Entebbe, where he was welcomed by His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. The two presidents held a tete-a-tete meeting where he discussed, among other things, the security situation in West Africa. The President, Museveni, and his visiting counterpart later briefed the delegations, where they both highlighted the need for the two countries to come together and share experiences if they are to overcome the challenges faced by not only Uganda and Togo but African countries at large. He once again welcomed the Togolese president to Uganda and wished him a pleasant stay. The Togolese president, His Excellency Nasingbe, on his part, thanked President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni for always being available to share his experience in as far as security and governance is concerned. President Nasingbe and his delegation were later hosted to a dinner at State House Entebbe by President Museveni.
Yes.
99% of the candidates who sat for the Uganda Certificate of Education examinations passed, with 67,815 acquiring the minimum principal level required for university admission. Now, while releasing these results in Kampala, State Minister for Higher Education, John Chrysostom Muyingo, urged students to get interested in what is offered in technical and vocational centers, plus nursing training institutions.
The 2022 Senior 6 examination results have been released. The results indicate that 99.2% of the candidates passed the 2022 Uganda Advanced Certificate Examination, with 70.3% attaining 2 principal level required for university admission.
In terms of numbers, this is slightly less than that of 2020, which was 68,013. But this is also consistent with the fact that we had a slight drop in candidature. In the cases where tertiary institutions are considering 1 principal and 2 subsidiary passes for admission, we have 89.3% of the candidates who will qualify. And this is quite comparable to the percentage of 2020.
At principal pass level, there are improvements in history, economics, entrepreneurship education, geography and art. Mathematics and chemistry recorded significant improvements, while physics had a drop, and its entries have not shown a consistent trend. Performance of biology has again dropped below 2020 level, where it had risen.
The constant problem of biology. While the National Curriculum Development Center looks at the curriculum, I wish to encourage teachers to look into those areas that have been mentioned even before today. Could it be that there's deficiencies in the teachers themselves? Could the problem be with the teachers? Could it be the food they eat? I ask that the systematic in-service training for biology teachers should focus on addressing this matter.
The results also indicate that female candidates performed better than their male counterparts in arts, mathematics and physics, while male candidates were better in agriculture, chemistry, biology, art and general paper.
We have continued to record zero scores in many papers. One of these candidates decided just to copy out questions several times, while another one wrote somewhere on page 2, I think, of the paper which I saw, "Dear Mr. Examiner, you are still wasting time on me when there are more serious candidates?" Question mark.
The chairperson, UNEB, Mary Okwakol, expressed a concern of fewer girls offering science combinations, emphasizing the need for a national strategy to empower girls pursue sciences at advanced certificate of education level.
Directed that the Ministry of Education and Sports should lead in a study along with UNEB to investigate the reasons for this. The investigation has not yet been done due to funding constraints. The observed gender gaps result in low numbers of women pursuing science, technology, engineering, and mathematics careers.
Uganda National Examinations Board has withheld examination results for 113 candidates for involving in examination malpractice, mainly external assistance in mathematics, biology and computer studies. I'm Nafka Farida and Dan Lugemwa in Kampala.
Mixed emotions have followed the release of the 2022 Uganda Advanced Certificate of Education examination results. Our team traversed the country and now report.
At Hilton High School in Mukono, the party was spiced by a band that plays with melodies that revealed expertise in music, dance and drama. At the school whose best student, Odoi Alexas, scored 20 points.
I am so thankful to God for the results of 2022. You know, these are results where we had COVID, which had affected virtually everybody, the learners, even us as teachers and school, we were affected. But we thank God because He has answered our prayers. We worked extremely hard after that experience to make sure that our students made it. And so the candidates have not let us down. The best student has scored 20 out of 20 points, and that is Odoi Alexas. Then the rest of the people also made it, and with the 19, 18, BCM especially, the challenge was in biology, but even when it was bad, students still scored B's all through.
Apart from Alexas Odoi, who scored 20 points, Hilton High School had 4 students score 19 points, 3 had 18, and many others 17. But importantly, all that sat qualified for further education.
I feel so good that I've not let my teachers down. My teachers have been there for me because what I had like biology was failed. But I thank God that I have a B. Who am I to get a B in biology? Subject teachers in the field.
At Crested Secondary School in Machindie, the mood turned prayerful in thanks for the excellent performance of learners that all qualified to join tertiary institutions.
Any for results released today are so good. Crested Secondary School has again done it. We performed so well. The best has 19, and this was he was doing PCM. Then the others are 18, 17, and 16. There are very many with 16, 19 and above, there are very many. And every student who sat at our center is going for high education.
The school principal, Canon Lydia Iringira, believes they have churned some of the best Uganda has.
We have very good scientists here, and they are the best performing students actually throughout our stay here. We always perform very well. We do well in sciences. And this year we expect medical doctors, we expect engineers, because most of them will be taken probably on government sponsorship.
The Dean of Students at Budo Senior Secondary School, Gerard Chinene, said that despite excelling with flying colors, they curse COVID-19. Budo Senior Secondary School sat 400 candidates, with 8 scoring 100%, with arts performed better.
First and foremost, I would like to thank God for having enabled us to perform to our expectation. Though we're expecting more 20s, but God has enabled us to get 120. Our students have performed quite well. We have 8 students scoring 19 points. So those are good results, and we thank God for that. We also thank our lady teacher for all the input he has put in to ensure that our learners perform. We thank God for having enabled us to perform.
Budo Senior Secondary School is exceptional and deserves applause because it deliberately balances education and sports. This is evidenced by its winning the Africa Schools on 3 basketball, and this by students that aren't badly off in class.
Sports has helped too much these kids by doing well in school, performing well in academic. It's only opening, when we bring them to the pitch, it helps them to freshen their mind, because from morning to evening they're in class. When they come back here, we freshen their mind. When they go back, they do well.
St. Janan School's Kabalagala campus is another that exceeded in the 2022 Uganda Advanced Certificate of Education.
Our children performed very well in the USCE exams of 2022, with our best in PCM scored 18 points. We are so grateful to God. I'm thankful to our teachers who have worked so hard to enable the children to score those results. I thank the children because they were very hardworking and disciplined.
I've managed to get 18 points. 18 points with a combination of PCM at St. Janan.
Seat of Wisdom in Lugazi that was started by Father Senkot of Lugazi Diocese, such 65 students, of whom 60 mainly in sciences, are able to join tertiary institutions of their choice. The school hierarchy are proud this. A lot of students whose best got 18 points for their resilience, especially during and after COVID-19. Progressive Senior Secondary School Kajansi has continued to shine, with almost the entire Senior 6 class of 2022 shining brightly.
I'm Lutamaguzi Francis, Director of Studies Kajansi Progressive. I'm pleased to have the results back with us, and over 35 students are qualifying to join university on government sponsorship.
Of our good performance, that almost the entire country is aware. In our meetings we have people from UPC who have come to cover us. Therefore, I'm calling upon you, please be aware that they are in our midst and show the signs of joy.
At Elite Senior Secondary School along Entebbe Road, gratitude is to God and the entire chain of education, including teachers, parents, and learners.
We thank God that we've received our results for USCE 2022. We are happy with our results. Our best student, there were 2 of them. One got 18 points, was doing history, economics and geography, and then the other was doing biology, chemistry and mathematics. I want to thank God that the performance was okay, and the challenges we had with these students, especially after COVID. Many of these students, especially at A level, when they came back, some of them had lost hopes in studying again. Majority of them had even gone for technical courses, the vocational courses at technical institutes. So bringing them back to secondary education wasn't easy.
At Seta High Green Campus, all the candidates have grades that qualify them to all tertiary institutions thereafter.
The teachers worked so hard to energize these students, to reorient them, because remember, the 2 years of sitting made them, we had to recycle their brains. So we thank God that the teachers did the best.
At Seta High A-level campus, they excelled in science, with the best 3 candidates scoring 20 points and several others with 19. According to the headmaster, the good performance is a result of working relationship. The mood was of joyful celebrations amongst continuing students and teachers.
Excelled as usual, because we know that our school, our community, number 1 is God-fearing, number 2, hard work, and number 3 is the cooperation we have with our parents and students.
At Seta High Mbala campus, over 250 sat for USCE, with 5 scoring 20 points. The head teacher, Boniface Sebokalu, commended the teachers for commitment that enabled the candidates to excel.
We are supposed to give them the requirements for university entrance, and that's what we have done. We have 2 students in science who have got maximum points, 20, and then we have 3 in arts who have maximum 20. In total, there are 5. Generally, in science, our children have performed very well in physics and math, followed by chemistry.
At Seta High main campus, it was excellence, especially for the 5 students that scored 100%. But the headmaster, Obo Alan, encouraged those that failed not to despair, but try out other avenues like vocational studies.
That all our students can join university. The 3 principal passes, they do have them, a few with 2, so implying that all the students we taught qualify for university. The girls and boys have performed fairly well. But I want to encourage, there might be those who may not be in position to make it to the university elsewhere. Don't lose heart. There are very many tertiary institutions that you can go to. You can go for nursing, you can go for laboratory technician, and whatever you can. Don't just lose heart and say life ends what? Here.
Congratulations to the successful student. Now, in other news, the Minister for Karamoja Affairs, Dr. Mary Goretti Chitutu, has apologized and also regretted involving herself with the iron sheets which were meant to be distributed to the people of Karamoja. While appearing before the Parliamentary Committee on Presidential Affairs, Minister Chitutu handed over her apology to the committee and also promised to forward her apology to the appointing authority. These are the details.
The Minister for Karamoja Affairs, Dr. Mary Goretti Chitutu, has again appeared before the Parliamentary Committee on Presidential Affairs and apologized over the manner in which she involved herself in food and iron sheet distribution meant for Karamoja people and the alleged supply of sick goats. Minister Chitutu admitted having given herself the iron sheets and also shared with some of her colleagues.
Honorable colleague, on Wednesday, I think I said there was a component where I donated.
Yes.
And this is what I came to explain.
Yes, but now you have tendered an apology of mismanagement, which is so holistic. But what is embedded in it now is not a holistic reflection. We are now directing you. Honourable Minister, we are directing you to take the oath before we proceed. Please, kindly.
I, Kitutu Mary Goretti Kimono.
She apologized for misappropriating relief items meant for the vulnerable people of Karamoja.
So can we hold you responsible?
I have to be truthful that I was not given guidance. If I had guidance like I have now, Honorable colleague,
you should have sought for it. Ignorance is not a defense at this point. You are a senior person. Are you owning the apology as a lead person for the whole mismanagement of the iron seats meant for Karamoja sub-region?
I'm owning it as the minister responsible.
On Wednesday this week, Minister Kitutu had appeared before the same committee to explain how the food that was meant to be given to the people of Karamoja ended up in other districts like Wakiso. Kitutu told the committee that Cabinet sat and resolved that some relief items also be given to the needy and vulnerable people in other districts across the country. She emphasized that she's going to notify the President and other ministers about her actions and also forward her apology. Meanwhile, State Minister for Karamoja Affairs, Agnes Nanduto, told the committee that she received a call from Minister Kitutu informing her about the iron sheets consignment that had been sent to her.
What exactly did she tell you?
She told me you have landslide victims in Bududa who need to be helped, whose houses had been swept away by landslides, just like another region in Bududa, so in the Bukis region. So if you take these iron seats, they'll help you mobilize the people for other government programs, because this is government. The stores people will release the iron sheets. So I wasn't given any document to collect.
So the store people would just offer
it was
instructions of a phone.
It was a PA who was in charge.
It should be noted that Parliament passed a supplementary budget of 135 billion shillings to buy relief items, including food and iron sheets for the needy and vulnerable people from Karamoja region. Susan Naung and Gloria Guitabinji reporting for EBC TV.
The Prime Minister of the Republic of Uganda, Robert Nabanja, has encouraged the public to embrace the wealth declaration application before the elapse of the exercise. Nabanja says that this exercise, supervised by the Inspectorate of Government, is done in good faith to ensure proper running of a corruption-free society of Uganda. Now, this was during a meeting at OPM with the Inspector General of Government, Betty Kamia, who said that failure to meet the deadline will attract penalties.
All public servants in Uganda have up to 31st March 2023 to declare their wealth. This is aimed at maintaining sanity in service delivery as well as fighting corruption.
You can't say you have one house when you have two houses. That's where the public comes in. The public should be able to know how many houses you have because you are neighbors.
The exercise, which is done online, officially began on 1st March 2023. It is planned to end on 31st March 2023 with a call on Ugandans to embrace it.
We want to link the public with this activity so that, one, the public is aware that leaders and all government officials are required to declare their assets and liabilities. Two, that those assets and liabilities are supposed to be commensurate to their known sources of income. And three, that if they declare falsely, under-declare or non-declare, it is also a crime under the law.
Prime Minister Robert Nabanja has backed the Inspectorate of Government on this.
After 31st, this time round, I'm reliably informed that we shall not open up. It is not anywhere in the law to allow people to declare after that date.
The exercise is overseen by the Inspectorate of Government as part of its mandate. Henry Okrut, UBC.
Furthermore, Parliament has donated radio transmission equipment worth 2.5 billion Ugandan shillings to Uganda Broadcasting Corporation. The Speaker of Parliament, Anita Amonganet, says that the donation is part of the Parliament of Uganda's corporate social responsibility. Now, while handing over the keys to the equipment to the UBC Managing Director, Winston Agaba, David, Speaker Among challenged the national broadcaster to set the pace for other players to follow.
It is a donation free of charge, with no expectations in return, except for quality and educative programming.
So that you're able to have a better output, better product in the market. I mean, we're in a business world. I have always told you that if you don't do something that is correct, we will not give you business, much as you're a government entity. We will not give you business. What we want is a business relationship where we have better products.
These were some of the words of the Speaker of Parliament, Anita Among-Anet, as she engaged management of Uganda Broadcasting Corporation. The meeting was meant to witness the handover of multi-billion shillings radio broadcasting equipment to UBC.
We are giving 2 transmitters, a standby generator that can run the whole of UBC, a UPS, an automatic voltage regulator, band pass filter, a changeover switch, equipment rack, antenna system, and a feeder cable.
Parliament had over the years taken a decision to open and operate media outlets as a means of boosting coverage of its house business. However, due to delays in acquiring a radio frequency, the Parliamentary Commission took a decision to donate the state-of-the-art transmission equipment to UBC.
Broadcasting and media issues are not a core function of the Parliament as an institution, and therefore took a decision to donate this equipment to Uganda Broadcasting Corporation because it's partly a government entity mandated to broadcast news.
Speaker Among challenged the media to embrace evidence-based reporting.
This era of rumor mongering, left, right, center, has ended. We need, if you're reporting that this has taken place, there must be evidence. And that's why when we agreed that we should hand over this to you, we needed evidence that yes, there was a handover.
On his part, UBC Managing Director Winston Agawa David pledged more local content as opposed to reliance on foreign programming.
And we can only vouch that we shall do our best, working together with your office to make sure that all the proceedings that take place in Parliament and out of Parliament shall come to the fore for the Ugandans to appreciate the role that legislators play and the role that we as a country have to propagate. We do not wait to consume foreign media. Let's create our own content and tell our own stories.
UBC Radio is almost 70 years old, having been established in 1953, a period that has come with a challenge of obsolete broadcasting equipment. The boost in the new equipment from Parliament is just timely, according to UBC management. Henry Okrut, UBC.
The State Minister for Lands, Dr. Sam Mayanja, ordered RDC Chankwanzi, Sharon Nkunda to take back 5,000 Bibanja and landowners on their land from 10 villages in Gayaza Parish, Chankwanzi District. In the meeting organized by the minister in Chiyuni Central, where the victims from different villages of Dagaza, Cherere North, Cherere East, Chamulalama, Nankandula, Seta, Chachibenje, Birama, Chiyuni and Chiyuni Central.
The State Minister for Lands, Dr. Sam Mayanja, has explained a report by the Anti-Corruption Unit on the land belonging to Linda Aronda Patricia, the wife to late General Aronda Nyakairima.
I've directed that the directives of His Excellency the President, which he issued on 22nd August 2013, be put into effect immediately. Those who are evicted from their Bibanjas be put back in possession immediately. With effect from tomorrow morning, people should get their hoes and go back and start cultivating. The season has come. Let this season not pass by. Tomorrow, they have no reason not to cultivate.
The minister also ordered the area RDC to make sure that the army which is on land be arrested and residents go back to their land.
A wrongful report which was given to government, and you've heard the truth. The report were saying that there are only 20 people occupying this land. You have seen there are more than 20 people, and we have told there are actually more than 2,000 people. So that report was a lie. and those who issued the lying report to government must be arrested, prosecuted.
Patrick Chansanku, one of the victims, wondered how Linda Aronda obtained the land title from a one Gideon Chibirango, who died 20 years ago.
It's very clear that John Christian Lukanga died in March 1965 and was buried at Kasumi Masiro. They could not therefore transact after 20 years of his death. According to the family, Kizime Bokamwanda by 1985 was in England and had not stepped a foot in Uganda. Land, the army has camped almost a full platoon. The army is involved in criminal and cruel activities, among which is stealing people's food.
Some of the Bibanja holders narrate how Linda Aronda used the UPDF to victimize them by destroying their property.
Nenga tuyine naku nyingi nnyo ebigambo by'ettaka. Twasendebwa ebintu byaffe ne byonoonebwa byonna tuli mu kubona okuyitirivu. Abaana baffe tebasoma nenga mazima n'osanga nga batusenda bagamba twesenza ku ttaka nenga bazadde baffe bennyini bazaaliddwa kuno.
Tooke byange byonna byasigulwa, emmwanyi zange, amayuni gange, lumonde wange, ebyo byonna byaddawo obuzzi ne basitula ekiti okukijja ewala ne bagenda bakikuba ku nnyumba yange.
Naye mbategeeza nti tewakyali n'omu ayagala kuwulira ku nsonga ya NRM olw'ennaku gye balina.
According to the victims, these 3 square miles cover 10 villages with over 500 households. Sudat Kaye and Jamil Sekaja, UBC News.
The third Deputy Prime Minister and Minister without portfolio, the right Rukia Nakadama, has handed over 3,152 business toolkits and equipment to 165 Juakali groups drawn from 51 districts across the country. The program is aimed at transforming the informal sector by supporting jobs and productivity growth and addressing the unemployment problem through the various initiatives. The program targets both the educated and the uneducated, women, youth, and persons with disabilities.
In the bid to fight poverty, unemployment and low labor productivity among women, youths and persons with disability, the Ministry of Gender, Labor and Social Development has handed over close to 3,152 business kits and equipment to 165 Juakali groups, representing 7,102 total beneficiaries. Rukia Nakadama, the third Deputy Prime Minister, advised beneficiaries to adopt good business practices in order to achieve high-level performance and transformation.
I will highlight 4 key areas I consider critical for your business success. You need to widen your knowledge on the products you produce, sell, your market, customer base, competitors, partner and the trends in the local and global markets. This will enable you to detect challenges early enough and take advantage of new opportunities.
The ceremony was graced by different ministers, members of parliament, development partners, ministry staff and Juakali groups. Betty Amongi, the Minister of Gender, Labour and Social Development, revealed that the next financial year government plans to expand this program to reach more Juakalis, targeting all constituencies in the country.
The goal, how do we make the rural people change their social status and enter into money economy to ensure that we handle the issue of poverty? How do we ensure that those who were unfortunate, they didn't go to school, they have skills that can allow them to survive in the areas where they are? How do we give them opportunities? And so this program is a program through Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development, but it's a government. Ministry of Gender is implementing it on behalf of government.
The equipment was procured under the Green Jobs and Fair Labour Market Program funded by the government through the Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development. The Green Jobs program seeks to create green and decent jobs, increase labour productivity, reduce poverty and ensure environmental sustainability through promoting workplace skilling and reskilling and also energy and resource efficiency.
Doubt at all that you are going to put these tools to use.
and that these tools are going to assist you to make more money so that you transform not only yourselves, but also the places where you come from.
2018, we have so far provided business toolkits and equipment to 382 Juakali groups in 7 cohorts, comprising 9,703 members.
Zahara Abigawa, UBC News.
4 villages in Gomba West constituency will get tap water to ensure that residents avoid sharing water with livestock. The campaign was spearheaded by the area MP, Robina Rakwojo, and the district chairperson, Chiviri Geoffrey, and was launched by the Secretary General of Local Government, Benjamin Kumumanya.
Traveling for long distances in search for clean water prompted Gomba West legislator Robina Rakwojo and the district chairperson to address the problem of water scarcity in Gomba district. 4 villages of Luzinga, Luaweba, Chamulambwa and Buyanja will benefit from the scheme launched by the Permanent Secretary, Minister of Local Government, Benjamin Kumumanya.
So I am happy because the ministry is the one implementing this project. We appreciate the Islamic Development Bank for giving us this concessional loan, which has helped us to deliver the government's mission of causing socio-economic transformation to our people in general, but the people of Gomba in particular.
Yes, you have warned the contractors about it, to be careful about children.
Kumumanya implored MP Rakwojo for lobbying for the locals, but warned the contractors to work within the anticipated time frame and cautioned them to avoid dating children in the village while at work.
As a policy of government now, we have to warn any contractor or anybody to make sure they also support the government to control the spread of HIV/AIDS. So we don't want these people to come in the area and also cause problems. So we have to give them that caution and that instruction because we want them to support us. Remember, these people come with some money.
Rakwojo applauded President Museveni for his support towards development, especially water extension to her constituency.
President n'omuntu okutusasibwa munonga n'asasibwa omuntu wa hansi nkyo yaleeteye na PDM parish development model yalina ngu ekyali muntu wa hansi abantu abyagambire abantu percentage ya 39 nyoni msima munonga abokuba n'atusasibwa emihanda amaizi buri kimwe amashomero.
Rakwojo asked residents not to misuse the water source as it is for their own good.
Mwana ntukereza omwana ntumanya ngo uri omuzeire noza kumurebera nako wawe kunkuba namuso ona shinengi Uganda nezayi mu rubantuki tumwine boishiki tumbazeire nabeshengereza mugira obuntu.
Gomba District Chairperson Geoffrey Chiviri pledged more support to address a chain of issues the district is facing.
Ebugula wali tutekawo Milli Collection Center wetugenda okutundira amata gaffe kyewunyisa nga mugomba wana amata gali ku siringi 90 lita naye entungamo gali ku 105 naye ngate okuva wano ogende Kampala ziri kilometers teziwera 12 naye eri ziri zigenda mu 5 naye gali ku 15 eno gali ku 9 so twagala tujjewo ekintu ekyo.
Residents commended the support rendered to them and requested for more water coverage. The district engineer Geoffrey Wamala clarified about the project works. This water project is worth 1.7 billion shillings with an estimated quantity consumption of 150,000 litres daily.
Tanki egenda kuba ya 7 n'ekitundu ng'ewanikidwa ku kikondo kya mita 15 then ne pampu ng'ekuba 1 n'ekitundu ogw'amazzi buli ssaawa. Kitegeeza olunaku twagala tujja kuba tufuna 15 egy'amazzi.
Mary Namkose, Stephen Kayumba, UBC News.
The State Minister for Health, Anifa Kawoya Banjirana, has flagged off maternal health equipment worth 286 million shillings to West Nile and Acholi region at the Ministry of Health headquarters. While flagging off, Kawoya says that these donations from the United Nations Population Fund, UNFPA, with funding from the Embassy of the Kingdom of the Netherlands, will improve on the maternal health in the country.
An estimated 800 mothers succumbed to pregnancy and childbirth-related challenges, according to the 2020 Maternal report. To remove this death trap, the State Minister for Health, Hanifa Kawoya Bangirana, has flagged off maternal health equipment to support and improve on maternal health in regions of West Nile and Acholi. Kawoya says the equipment is to support mothers while giving birth.
Every mother, every child must be safe. Every mother, every child must have the legal obligations to good life. And support towards this is really a good support to ensure Ugandan population, especially the mothers and the child born, they are very safe.
She also pledged regular repair of the equipment to put an end to maternal death.
I therefore want to call upon districts and facilities who are the beneficiaries to use these equipments with care and with appreciation that they are intended to. It's how we utilize the equipment given to us and touching those that are supposed to touch the beneficiaries that we can say, wow, we are doing our cause.
Nations Population Fund country representative Dr. Mary Otieno emphasized for quality care of delivering mothers.
This contribution of equipment worth over $80,000 or 296 million Uganda shillings with funding from the Netherlands is to address some of the equipment needs. We are confident this assorted equipment comprising delivery beds, sterilization drums, oxygen concentrators, fetal Dopplers, BP machines, pulse oximeters, ambibags for resuscitation, delivery sets, and obstetric surgery kits will improve the quality of care in labor and delivery of mothers.
First Secretary, Embassy of the Kingdom of the Netherlands, Ruth van Zorg, tasked government to invest in the health of expectant mothers.
Increased investments of the government of Uganda in the health sector, it is unavoidable that the gains that we now have won will be lost. The health sector is critical in reaching Uganda's Vision 2040 and, as importantly, to reach the country's commitment to provide women and young people of Uganda the services they are entitled to.
The flagged equipment include oxygen concentrators, delivery beds, among others. Mary Namkose, Irene Faith Nantongo, UBC News.
Environmental activists have asked the government to expedite the release of the report findings of last year's survey of Bugoma Forest Reserve. It is hoped that once released, the bickering of who owns the prime land in the forest reserve of Bugoma will not only quell the existing bad blood between claimants and the National Forestry Authority, but spell out whether it is given up for sugarcane growing or to conserve or harness the biodiversity of our country. These remarks were aired during the ongoing 320-kilometer walk from Chikube to Kampala.
Environmental activists participating in the ongoing 320-kilometer walk from Chikube to Kampala have described the rate at which Bugoma Central Forest Reserve is being degraded. The lead walker, Geoffrey Ayen, together with a section of environmentalists, witnessed massive forest cover loss in the forest reserve escalated by tree cutting and charcoal burning.
I notice on our way as we walk here, every young man walks with a panga in his hand. And you ask yourself, what is this panga for? This is action.
Environmentalists contend that with the heavy industrialization activities happening in Bunyoro region, following the discovery of oil reserves, efforts to protect a natural forest reserve like Bugoma should be heightened.
This forest is very important to all these activities because this is the only forest that will absorb the carbon emission that will come out of the oil industry and then the industries that will be set around this region.
I'm happy that there is an effort that is being put in place to conserve this forest. But at the same time, I'm also very concerned that the forest is being degraded at a very alarming rate. And I think it is within the mandate of government to make sure that this forest is conserved, not only for our generation, but also for the generations to come.
National Forestry Authority Sector Manager Chisinde Alex Obonyo admit that they have to some extent not acted accordingly, but apportion blame on high authorities. Obonyo states that, following a series of legal battles between the National Forestry Authority and Bunyoro Kingdom, the government is yet to pronounce itself on whether or not a Bugoma forest should be conserved.
In 2020, the cabinet gave a directive to Minister of Lands and Minister of Water and Environment to open Bugoma forest boundary totally to ascertain whether the area claimed by Bunyoro Kingdom, which has been leased to Hoima Sugar, is inside Bugoma forest or is outside. Indeed, Minister of Lands came, they concluded the boundary opening in September last year. Now, up to now, we people on ground, we don't know where the report is, don't know where the report has reached. Now, since the report is not yet out, all the claimants are using the area they claim. Because when we arrest their people, they say, how sure are you this is not my land? Can you justify that this is not my land? The surveyors, when we say but the boundary, the pillars is there, it was surveyed and found you are inside. Then they challenge you that where is the report? What shows that I'm in or out? So they are all basing on that report.
It is against this background that environmentalists now want the government to act soonest.
Looking at our national forest estate, it's being depleted left, right and center. And what is it that we can do? I think it is government that can mobilize us to do whatever we can to make sure that we conserve our forests.
We are not going to give up until this effort bears some fruit.
For the meantime, self-proclaimed resilient environmentalists have embarked on a rigorous reforestation drive while they are planting an assortment of tree species in an effort to restore the lost tree cover in the region.
We encourage other people to come up and also do the same in terms of conservation and restoring the environment.
Shaidat Nasaku, Dokas Kimono, UBC News.
Analysts in the education sector say that the development of a nation is measured by the number of literate people in that country. Now in Masindi district, education spearheaded by young people who, after returning to school, have come back now to spearhead development. Let's have a look.
After every end of the education cycle, the onus is to transform society. Most areas remain backward due to lack of individuals who can apply their education and skill. Uganda's literacy rate is 79%, although most people fall out of school and life ends. Edema John Bosco dropped out of a village school in Senior 4 and returned 25 years later. He has now graduated.
I thank the Lord for this day today. It is a wonderful day to me. I call it wonderful because I dropped out of school about 30 years ago. 25 years later, after leaving Senior 4, I decided to go back to university education. How did I make it? I did not do HSC. I applied and I went and did aptitude examination using my Senior 4 certificate. I was the only one who passed the aptitude test. Me, I decided to apply for Bachelor's of Commerce. Bachelor's of Commerce at 42, of course.
Edema is employed with Kinyara Sugar Works in Masindi district and has been innovative at community level, supporting schools through Belu Uganda's HIFE and B4 to support learners pursue education.
Benefits I got from the university. One of the course units is called business law. You learn about formation of companies. There's also entrepreneurship where you learn about project planning and management. So when I learned all those, I came to put them to use. I decided to form a charitable organization called Biandeka Integrated Foundation, which has benefited from the same knowledge. Part of the project was renovate the classrooms.
The young man has been very enthusiastic in working for the betterment of the community. At the same time, he's a director for B4, one of the organizations that helps the community in sustainable livelihood. He's spearheading a scholarship program for the young one. We have around 41 children being sponsored by Beru community.
Of activities are taking place in this school. All these activities are being spearheaded by our beloved chairperson, Mr. Edema John Bosco, and he has been so innovative in changing the environment of the school. Also put for us a staff quarters that is accommodating 12 teachers.
In senior 3 class, I finished my P7, but I was not able to succeed and go ahead. So I got some tips through Mr. Edema John Bosco, who tried to help me in my studies. As per now, I'm happy that I'm supposed to continue with my studies.
The purpose of education is to transform society, although poverty has failed many to pursue education. Aviana Francisco, UBC News.
Commercial break. When we return, we'll be back with business.
Sent transport to the wrong person. Here's how to reverse it with MTN mobile money. Dial *165#. Select My Account. Select Initiate Reversal. You will see your last 3 transactions. Select the transaction you want to reverse. Enter your mobile money PIN, and you'll get an SMS confirmation that the transaction has been blocked from being withdrawn. And that's it. Please note, only transactions that haven't been withdrawn can be reversed.
This isn't just a girl. She is the future. This is a teacher, a doctor, a community leader, our future president.
This is our family's pride.
This is my friend.
This is the future of our nation.
She is the future of Uganda, and the policies I enact today will protect her from teenage pregnancy.
She is the hope of our community, and I will talk to others about how we must protect her.
She is our family's pride, and I will protect her from child marriage and talk to her about the dangers of teenage pregnancy. We each have a role to play in empowering our teenage girls to protect them from child marriage and pregnancy, because when we empower them, we empower our nation. Protect the girl, save the nation.
Their support meant so much to me. I stayed focused and was protected from child marriage and teenage pregnancy. I will support other girls against child marriage and teenage pregnancy.
Take action. Report any case of defilement or child marriage to the police or call Sauti 116.
Fish farming expo and training. Ekajansi ku aquaculture research and development center kutandika Friday ngabiri munyaka Sunday ngabiri mukaga March 2023 sawa bide zokubacha bali lunaku kosirenga kubitano zokka no mutwalo kubone training jangu oyiko kwongera ku makungula ne sente zofuna mu byenyanja oyige babalusa endisa nenkola emere ebyenyanja endwadde nezijanja bayabyo ero bikumotya ngabira mate ngabya mutindo omwoleso kutide bakukuberere mu byenyanja bouncing kazo zabana ebisanyu santoko endoko kasigu bulo okuva mu bayimbi ba Uganda benjawulo eno olaba oyiga ng'atonyumirwa obulamu Fishwise kuba essimu 0702 62205 oba 0772 okumanya ebisingawo tosubwa omwoleso gw'ebyennyanja oguwagiddwa naro nga gutegekeddwa Slick Stars.
It's Freaky Friday from Airtel. Buy or gift. Buy or give.
Get freaky too! Dial *100*10# to load a Freaky Friday bundle for you to enjoy the best offers on voice and data.
To buy a bundle for friends and family, dial *100*10#. Freaky Friday with Airtel. Buy or gift a bundle today. Dial *100*10# to get started. Airtel, the smartphone network.
Welcome back. You're still watching the UBC News Tonight. We now delve into the world of business. African states are yet to benefit from the Loss and Damage Fund recently launched in 2022 during the COP27 in Sharm el-Sheikh in Egypt. The head of the delegation, who is the Minister for East African Community Affairs, Rebecca Alitwala Kadaga, said the fund will be crucial in helping African countries that suffer as a result of the environment. Kadaga said this during the launch of the Nationally Determined Contributions NDC at the Ministry of Water and Environment.
Uganda was one of the countries which participated in the 27th Conference of the Parties to the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change that took place in the Egyptian coastal city, Sharm el-Sheikh. The text reaffirms the commitment to limited global temperature rise to 1.5 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial level.
Slides, we have drought, we have rising lakes. This is all part of loss and damage where people's property is destroyed as a result of climate change. So as Uganda, we have to be very proactive. We have to make sure that we tap into this money. We have to ensure that we come up with bankable projects so that you can, if you are not proactive, you will not get this money.
The conference also showed concern to support African cities to help them adapt to climate change. To this regard, a fund was launched.
I'm also happy to inform that the African Cities Adaptation Fund was launched at COP27. This will enable African city leaders directly access funding and technical support to implement innovative solutions targeting issues of integrated governance, watershed management, increasing sanitation services, improved stormwater management and wastewater management.
Kadaga says they are already implementing the nature-based solutions to address management and restoration of the ecosystem.
Plan to address restoration of the entire environment, the lakes, the rivers, the swamps, the forests. So we have the immediate, which has begun, that is to say the eviction of the people who are in the wetlands. The second one is to cancel the title deeds which are illegally issued. I'm aware, even from my constituency, that the people who are in the wetlands have already received instructions to leave. So the plan is already in action.
However, there are fears that these funds may not be fully utilized.
The developed countries pledged to be giving $100 billion every year. This they have not done. So if we cannot get the money, there's nothing we can do. Of course, as a ministry, we get some money from government, but it's just a drop in the ocean.
Able to convince government to reinstate the National Environment Fund. You know, it had been taken away, but you're going to reinstate it. We think that it will help us, it will help this ministry to have something to start with, because as we wait for the Loss and Damage Fund, we should be able to do some things for ourselves.
The issues around risk financing, weather-based insurance schemes, these are also financing instruments that we can explore into. Financing is not only about somebody giving more money, it's also about, even here where we have banks, for example, can we negotiate with the banks when you have a project that is promoting climate change? Can you get a very reduced interest rate, for example? That is a financing instrument we can look into.
Mary Namkose, UBC News.
Transport to the wrong person. Here's how to reverse it with MTN Mobile Money. Dial *165#. Select My Account. Select Initiate Reversal. You will see your last 3 transactions. Select the transaction you want to reverse. Enter your mobile money PIN and you'll get an SMS confirmation that the transaction has been blocked from being withdrawn. And that's it. Please note, only transactions that haven't been withdrawn can be reversed.
It's true what people say, that when I wash and you wash your hands with soap, we'll have less infections as Ugandans. After all, it's hands that handle money. It's hands that feed us. Hands that prepare soil for farming. Hands that we use to learn. And hands that we use for fun.
When I wash and you wash, it means clean hands for all. So, wash your hands with soap and clean water regularly to keep away infections and disease-causing germs. This message is from the National Hand Washing Secretariat with support from UNICEF.
It's Freaky Friday from Airtel. Buy or gift. Buy or give.
Get freaky too! Dial *100 *10 hash to load a Freaky Friday bundle for you to enjoy the best offers on voice and data.
To buy a bundle for friends and family, dial *100 *10 hash. Freaky Friday with Airtel. Buy or gift a bundle today. Dial *100 *10 hash to get started. Airtel, the smartphone network.
Welcome back, and we still take you into the world of sports. Uganda Athletics Federation has become the latest to suffer because of the current situation of Mandela National Stadium at Nambole. Our reporter John Barnes sent a more report.
The delayed completion of refurbishment works at Mandela National Stadium Nambole continue to hurt, with Uganda Athletics Federation the latest victim.
We have cancelled the first UF trials, and simply because we did not have any standard track to use for those trials. As Uganda now, we cannot go to some grass tracks and cause the athletes to try to qualify from there. They cannot.
But despite that deterrent, activities at the Athletics Federation have continued with a team dispatched to Tanzania for the Under-18 and Under-20 East African Championship.
We have been training way long back from last year, but as this year began, they had put for us a camp. We started on 9th to 28th January. So we have really been working hard so that we can make it in these coming competitions.
10 athletes, including Yeko Bentalin, Felista Chekwemoi, Kibet Alan, Joyce Avako, and Asha Babona, will be under coaches Justin Baiga and Latigo Kasim.
The team is ready. We started way back in January 9. We ended the camp on 28th.
And that's it for our 10 o'clock edition of the UBC News Tonight. Thank you for being a lovely audience. My name is Wadulo Mark Arnold, and from the team we say good night.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
It's Freaky Friday from Airtel. Buy or gift. Buy or give.
Get freaky too!